Hey everyone, so this is my QC feedback video because I've just been away for a week at a conference. It was exciting, it was great. I hope some of you saw my previous video that was shot really badly in the dark about the first night of QC. It was a night of happiness and enjoyment, and then things went to hell. And I don't really want to rant too much, but I didn't make it onto the Organising Committee. Like my last video said I was. I was for all of a night, and then someone lodged a grievance against me, which is problematic because it wasn't about my behaviour and it wasn't about anything that I could change, and there was no specifics. It was actually a really dodge grievance about my personality and about something from my past. So my social anxiety kicked in, and I spent a lot of time trying to work out who that was, and I know who it was. I know who it was, and they're not watching this video, but it's problematic at best. So that happened, and so then I didn't eat or sleep for about a day whilst I was trying to work out who it was. I narrowed it down to 3, and then 2 of those knocked themselves out of the running. So then I smashed my phone as well, and I broke my earphones, and I possibly have a broken finger, and there was like so many bad things that happened. Like, people think I'm overreacting when I say I've got a broken finger. Like, I went to first aid and said, "Hey, I think my finger's broken," and they're all like, "It's probably not. It's probably just bruised." I'm like, "Put some ice on it and elevate it," and like all sound advice and all great, but it's like been a week now and it's still sore and swollen. No, look at my little pinky. It's all swollen. So I'm gonna have to go and make a trip to the hospital at some point, which I don't really look forward to doing. But on the upside, things that were good about this QC, I did my very first QC workshop. Yay! And twinkles, because twinkles are really cool. And it was on pop culture and the way that our identities and histories and all those fun intersects actually affect the way that we view, what we view, how we consume, our engagement with fandom in general. Which was interesting. A lot of people gave me some suggestions, and it was a really cool general conversation thing, which was awesome, absolutely awesome. I felt really good because I was really well received. I'm saying a lot. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Because I'm just doing it again. But has anyone seen that episode of How I Met Your Mother with Robin in the drinking game? But that's me right now. My workshop was really well received. When issues about womanhood came up, and feminist issues came up, I actually had the resources off the top of my head, and I could refer people to information. So that was really cool, and I got a lot of nods about that. We talked about video games. I got to talk about feminist frequency a bit, and I got some nods for that. So I'm really excited by that. We talked a bit about slash fiction and queer baiting within television, and people tweeted me afterwards saying I could have that conversation all day. It was brilliant. We talked about the pink dollar and how industries market towards queer people. And again, could have had that conversation all day. Only problem about my workshop was it was put on the very last day. So it was a bit sort of dodge that it was on the last day because we couldn't organise secondary workshops. And there was very little time to do much else. So next year I'm going to organise for a larger workshop, maybe do 2 workshops, maybe split it up a little bit. It would be good to do that. The other thing that came out of QC this year is there is a genuine thing that we're going to put in a bid to host it for 2015, which makes my heart go all aflutter because that means extra paperwork and graphs and charts and standing orders. I love standing orders, and learning how to facilitate meetings better, and all the feels for hosting. If we get it, all the feels for putting in a bid for hosting, because I kind of wanted to do this for a long time now and just never been able to because our collective has not really been ready for it. So we're feeling a bit ready now. We're happy that we're thinking about this 2 years out from the actual conference, so we're putting things together. I've already drafted up a timetable of how I would think things would operate best to take that to the group. I know that's a little bit obsessive, like timetabling something that's 2 years in the future that I may or may not even be around to work on, but I just am really excited by this. I also got some heaps of good praise about my consent stuff and how I practice consent, not just for physical acts and sexual acts, but like consent to smoke around you, and consent to eat meat, and consent to join your conversation, and consent to apologize. I like that one. Like, I know that you're really upset right now, and that may or may not be with me, and I want to apologize to you, but I want to make sure that you're okay with me apologizing, because I think apologies are really selfish. There is a whole thing about that, and you know, it was something I created like 4 years ago in response to Roland Barthes' idea that I love you is like the most selfish thing someone can say. I decided no, like, Roland Barthes is cool and all, and you know, his work is quite well respected from what I understand, but yeah, whilst I agree with his sentiment, I kind of came to the conclusion myself that I think I'm sorry is the most selfish thing someone can say, because it basically says, you've got a timeline now, you've got a deadline to forgive me, because after a certain period of time, no matter what it is, I've said I'm sorry, and I've come to you and made my big formal apology, and if you're not accepting that, then you're just a little bit of a bad person. So that's why I like to ask consent to apologize, in a nutshell. So, yeah, but one of the things that came out of it is that I've been invited to help collaborate on working on consent stuff with another university, which is really exciting. I'm glad to have my name sort of out there a little bit. So, doing some of that, like, I was only away for a week, but I've got about 2 weeks worth of paperwork to do, which is insane. So, but on my personal level, like, being at the conference and talking to everyone at the conference, and, well, not everyone, but, you know, most people, and holding this workshop has made me aware of the fact that I am good at pop culture. No, just at the conference, a lot of people were really excited about my workshop before it, and they gave a lot of good feedback afterwards, and a lot of people were aware that sort of I was in control of the situation. I knew what I was talking about. I had specific examples, maybe that they could talk to me about specific examples, and I'd either know specifically their example, or I'd know the TV show, or I'd be at least familiar enough with it that I was able to discuss it, which was cool. So I'm sitting here now kind of really invigorated about my Masters, and I've got some new ideas for other research that I want to conduct, which is exciting, and which will wait. It's in a notepad on the things for me to do at a later date once I get, you know, my PhD and stuff. But I'm really feeling invigorated, and I've just got to now is the post QC itis thing. One of my friends is currently really sick, and you know, has all the partying and the late nights and the not dressed appropriately because you went out during the day, and then you're out till like 11 o'clock at night, and then you're all of a sudden sick when you get home. So a lot of my friends are going through that at the moment. I'm not. A lot of people have like been status updating about sleeping for 18 hours. I kind of did a little bit of that, and then I just watched Game of Thrones season 3 for like 2 days to sort of, you know, get out of that whole sort of politically correct, crazy headspace. So today I'm doing all my paperwork, doing my feedback reports, doing things that I promised to other universities that I would do, because it kind of, some stuff that was happening was really serious and is really going to be an issue for other people. So I offered to help and put some stuff forward. So I'm doing that, and hopefully within the next 12 hours I can complete all of that and wipe my QC slate clean for this year, and then I can jump straight back into my research. I'm going to email my lecturers today with what I've got, because I haven't contacted them still. I was going to do it whilst I was away, but then I didn't get onto EduRoam, and which is our little wireless internet for all the university students, no matter what university campus they're on. They have this program, but I couldn't access it. I knew what I had to do to access it. I knew the codes and all that sort of stuff. I just couldn't find where to enter them on my computer, and everyone else in the house couldn't find it for me either. So I'm going to email them pretty much straight after this, tell them where I'm at, and tomorrow I'm going to sit down and start reading and writing, because I need to start. I've been in Masters for a few months now. I haven't actually put words on paper properly yet. Like, I've got that draft, and I talked about it a few weeks ago that I've words on paper, and that was really exciting, but I haven't got a serious draft yet. I need 8,000 words for my first chapter, and I haven't drafted that yet. So tomorrow everything kicks into full steam. I just need to wipe my plate clear of QC, and hopefully I can just solidly work on that for a bit. Yeah, so a big shout out as well to Ace and Emily, Cage and MJ, because they were hugely supportive of me at QC when I was having issues, and I hope that I was a good friend to them as well. And a shout out to Angus, Alan, and Dylan as well, who were sharing a room with us and were pretty cool themselves. And one thing that really came out of QC as well that I think is really important is that we've bonded as a group. Particularly Dylan, really living with someone who you don't usually have much contact with and having them open up about those stuff and share stuff with you and stuff that, we've experienced together now. So big props to Dill and my friendship with him, and also to all my other QC peoples, Greta, Asha, Michael, all the old people, Andrew, I love you, Andrew. So big props out to all of them because it was so good to catch up with them, and to all my new friends, Alice and Mikey and Kate, who I've met before but didn't really have much contact with. Just sort of people that, every time you go to QC you think it's going to be like just hanging out with the same old people, and every time it's not. You catch up with them for a bit, but then you make brand new friends. So I'm really excited to have new friends, and I'm really excited to see old friends, and frankly, I just kind of want to get to QC next year, which is in Melbourne. Woo! I'm going to Melbourne. I might not be going to Melbourne. I've got to get approved for it, and I've got to get funding together. But I'm going to Melbourne, provided I do all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, Monash is going to be great, and I get to see Monash, which is a dream of mine because that's where I wanted to attend university for my postgraduate degree. At some point, I want to go to Monash. So I'm really excited. Oh yeah, and Cam, big shout out, and all the feels for Cam, who is an amazing individual as well, who made me realize some stuff about myself, which was hugely beneficial to me. So thank you for all the chats, and to anyone that I missed, thank you for all the chats and all the fun times and all the skill sharing on all the building. And this is going on far too long again, and I always say it in every video. I'm sorry that I had to thank everyone personally this time. It's just been a really intense week, and it's going to be really intense for a little bit longer. So props to everything, love to everyone, all the feels, and I'm just going to go now because I have paperwork to do, and that's really important and stuff. But thank you to everyone, and thank you to everyone who's watching these videos. You are all beautiful.